Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari have finally told us the day when he will drive a Ferrari car for the first time. Some bad choices made by Mercedes showed that he can't do the tire test in Abu Dhabi because the team had promises to keep with their partners and workers. But Hamilton won't waste any time, and he has already visited the Ferrari factory many times so far. This shows that he's ready to take on the challenge and win his 8th championship in his career as soon as possible. But can he beat the tough challenge called Leclerc? And what is he doing to fit in better at Ferrari? One of the greatest team-ups in racing history is about to happen, Hamilton and Ferrari. These two have the chance to do something amazing and win the 8th championship for the British driver and the first for the team since 2007's Raikkonen win. To do that, Hamilton needs to take some small steps first. That means trying out some Ferrari cars to get used to how they drive. Of course, not being able to test the SF24 car, which will be the closest one to the 2025 race car, might hurt him a bit. He will drive the F175 on Ferrari's test track in Fiorano instead. But Ferrari boss still believes that Hamilton will need just a few laps before he gets completely comfortable with the car. According to Ferrari, Hamilton will test the F175, which was the 2022 race car, on January 22nd next year. This is basically using a rule called TPC, or Testing of Previous Cars session, that Ferrari organized just for Hamilton. This rule has been around for a long time, but usually the tire test in Abu Dhabi gives drivers enough information about the car and how it behaves. Unfortunately, Hamilton didn't get that lucky chance to test the SF24 car. He said that he's definitely missing out on something by not doing the test, even though he knew from day one that he wouldn't get to do it. Lewis will also get to know the track workers, as he will work on creating a close friendship between him and his engineer. Of course, we know how important this is. Whether or not Hammer time will be recreated as Ferrari time, only time will tell. But what's more important is that many champions before Ferrari have driven at Fiorano and created unforgettable moments for the Ferrari team. The most important thing is that the Ferrari boss has full confidence that bringing Hamilton into Ferrari will go very smoothly, and obviously it will create an amazing team between him and Leclerc. This is probably one of the most successful driver pairs that Ferrari will have in quite some time, and unless something goes terribly wrong with Hamilton getting used to Ferrari, we should expect lots of podium finishes and 1-2 finishes from the Ferrari team. Red Bull has indeed lost their competitive edge in the team championship. Even if they promote a young driver from their sister team, it would take some time to get to the level that these teams are at. So all in all, the battle should be between McLaren and Ferrari to win the team championship next year. The Ferrari boss pointed out that the team can't afford to make a single mistake to become winners over McLaren. The development of the car would have to be perfect under the team's rebuilding. However, Hamilton isn't known as a driver who can give proper technical advice to his engineers. This is something that he's been criticized for a lot in his career, even by teammates like Rosberg. But Felipe Massa, who lost the championship to Hamilton's team back then, believes that age is a huge factor that will decide if Hamilton's time with Ferrari will be successful or not. Furthermore, the former Ferrari driver said, "If you asked me if I would hire Hamilton as the head driver of Ferrari, yes, I would without a doubt, because of the talent he has. He's one of the most incredible drivers in Formula 1, but because of his age, maybe not because of his age. If you look at the sport, age matters, and we have to understand how much age is weighing on him in this situation or not. I'm talking about myself these days. I need to train much more physically than I used to. It's much harder to recover physically after a difficult race or an intense training session. Age takes its toll in some areas, and that's normal. Age is something that's weighed negatively on several drivers, as it did for Schumacher. One of the greatest challenges that Hamilton will have going into Ferrari is talking with the workers. This is why he already started to take some Italian language lessons to break the barrier between him and the crew of the Ferrari team. Of course, both Leclerc and Sainz have talked to the media and the team in Italian, and that is something that Hamilton wants to do himself as well. And to add more to his commitment to the next chapter in his life, he reportedly paid 5 visits to Ferrari in 2024, despite being under contract with Mercedes. All of these visits had their own meaning, and one of the most important ones is that Hamilton got to know himself a bit better with the technical parts of the car, especially the steering wheel. This is something that we don't see often in the Formula 1 world, but Hamilton is special in his own way. Right now, nobody can question his ability or motivation to win an 8th championship with Ferrari, despite the negative comments from Kata about whether or not he has the speed in him anymore to compete in this sport. This is something that's been emphasized by Ralf Schumacher, a former Formula 1 driver and brother of Michael, the man that Lewis wants to beat in the championship count, in the team where the German driver won 5 out of his 7 titles. When talking about what is missing from Hamilton's techniques for battling with Ferrari and winning a championship, the former F1 driver said, "The biggest difference between my brother and Hamilton is that, among other qualities, Michael was able to work with the engineers to develop a car that was perfect for his driving style. Lewis can't do that. He's never been able to do that. If you listen carefully to what the Mercedes engineers say, Toto Wolff has stressed more than once that a driver should step on the gas and the engineer should develop. But he also said this because his drivers were apparently not capable of providing the right input. Michael was completely different. He always gave his trusted people like Ross Brawn and Jean Todt the direction for Lewis. That makes things even more difficult because Leclerc is the top dog. Everyone in the team knows him. Rolf has gone to the point of saying that Lewis can and should retire early in case everything goes badly with this Ferrari project. He says the entire Formula One world knows him as a great figure. So there's no need to put a dark spot on his career just because he wants to win the 8th championship so badly. Nevertheless, that is not how true racers and F1 fans know Hamilton. This is a mission that he will have to prove again after a terrible couple of years he spent at Mercedes under the ground effect rules. On the other hand, Leclerc himself said that he's 100% focused on the Ferrari project. Despite Hamilton being his teammate, he knows that it takes a lot more than just speed and talent to become a world champion in this sport. Going further on this topic, the Monaco driver said, "I don't think that getting a world championship would be harder than simply winning races. You also need to have a bit of luck to find yourself in the right place at the right moment. And I feel like now luck is secondary and it's not a point anymore. It's all about us, how well we're working as a team and the job we're doing as a team to get into the world championship. I feel like we are working well. We've got lots of hard work to do in the next few years, but I believe in it. As I said when I signed again with Ferrari and renewed my contract, I love Ferrari so much. But I know that in order to give the best and get the best out of me, I need to believe in the project 100%. And I am sure that Ferrari is the next team that will be world champions. We've just got to keep working." But if you ask Juan Pablo Montoya, he doesn't think that Leclerc has what it takes to beat Hamilton because of the experience that the 7-time world champion has, plus the fact that he's just this person that when he shows up somewhere, leaves a permanent mark of his presence. The same thing happened back in 2013 when he made the move to Mercedes, a move that was heavily criticized. Just 1 year before the new rules kicked in, but Hamilton and Mercedes went on to become the most successful team in the history of the sport. Going deeper on this matter, Montoya said, "Lewis is mature enough to appreciate that in the short term he's going to struggle a little bit learning the Ferrari thing. Charles is going to feel like he's got the upper hand, but give it 6 or 7 races and if the car is competitive, Lewis is going to win everything." With all of this in mind, what do you think about the first test of Hamilton in Ferrari? And more importantly, do you think that he has what it takes to be the alpha male compared to Leclerc? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're interested in the latest team statement about the pairing of Red Bull from 2025 onwards, make sure to click on the video that's appearing on your screen right now.